Hi everyone, Cam from Cam's Costumes, and I've got some new pre-loved costumes, if that makes sense. And I'm going to take you through a quick 3-step guide on how to get the best out of your costumes post-performance. Let's get into it. So you have done your performance, your dancers have done a great job, and now you need to clean and air out and store your costumes. And that's pretty much it. It's just a 3-step process. It's not that sophisticated, but once you get the hang of it and get it down pat, it'll be so much easier. This is one of our lovely costumes we have here. Let's take a whiff. Sorry, give me a sec. Hello there. It really wasn't that bad. What I really don't like about the smell of these is the smell of Febreze. I'm going to say Febreze because I don't think there's any legal ramifications. I did a video before this making fun of the fact I couldn't say Febreze, but I think it just made it very confusing. Anyway, this smells like Febreze. I'm not a fan. And there's another video you can watch and you can discover why. Long story short, what we need to do is we need to take the costumes out of the bags as soon as possible. And your bags, again, you can put them aside and use them for long-term storage later, but they need to be aired out, right? So take them out of the bag as soon as possible. Now, if they're a thick, hardy material such as this is the Wiseman Cheer one. I really like these costumes. Like I said, they last a very long time, but they also, because they're thicker, it will cause your dancer to sweat a lot more. Plus, cheer is quite a high-level, high-intensity dance style. So you can expect there's going to be a lot of smells coming out of these costumes. So what you want to do is you want to take them out and you want to put them in a hamper. Now, the best hamper is this kind here, which I have a version of. So that's the IKEA hamper. I can't remember what it's called. Hampen or something. They'll come up with some sort of IKEA name, right? But these are collapsible, so you can just pull out the tabs there. Ta-da! Tonight on America's Most Wanted. I will love the day someone tries to hold up a 7-Eleven wearing one of these as a disguise. Anyway, you want a hamper that breathes, right? So when you put the costumes in there, not only can you see what is in there very easily, right? It's basically mesh, right? So it'll breathe. So it'll allow basically air and circulation to get through. Probably not the best, but you can sort of shake it around and get them sort of moving around. But essentially, you want to get them out of the bags and into the hamper as soon as possible. If you don't have a hamper, these tubs are fine in a pinch because there's no circulation is going to get around them, right? But these are good for storage over time. But ideally, you want to put them in something. The time you won't put them in the hamper is if you have like a fringy costume. All my fringy costumes, I'll just go grab one. So if you have a costume like this, but see how all of these hang down here? So you want to get this on a hanger as soon as you can. These are one of the few times these awful plastic hangers come in handy because they have these clips to separate it out. And again, it's all about airflow, right? You want to get as much airflow and circulation through the costume as possible. You wouldn't throw this into your hamper because, as you can guess, this will become one giant tangled, jumbled mess if it isn't already, right? With those particular ones, you'll never put them in a hamper, but with other ones that are more hardy, you can just bomb them in there, let them breathe, and you can deal with them a little bit later. Now, once they've been in the hamper, you do want to put them on a hanger. I had things here to show you on the video, and I can't find them. Ah, there they are. So I did another video about hangers, what hangers you should and shouldn't use for your costumes. There are some extenuating. This hanger here with the little clips, I don't like those. I don't like the plastic ones. They're gross, they're weird, bleh. But with that one, it's actually good because it allows the costume to stretch out a little bit and allows for more airflow and surface area. These are your top 3. So this is your standard hanger. Again, beautiful and sleek, very, very cheap. And these are your go-to costume hangers that you should use. They are flocked, which means they are fuzzy. And I've mentioned it before. It's like a Muppet skin. But it causes friction, stops the costumes from stretching. If it's a costume like this, where it's quite hardy, you can feel that there's not too much stretch in there, right? So you can keep them on the normal hanger for quite a while. I'd still recommend a flocked one, but in a pinch, a normal one. But if you're going to be storing them long term, you want to put them on a flocked hanger. But again, you don't want to store them for too long on hangers because they will start to stretch out. So once they are on a hanger, you will then spray them with my proprietary blend of isopropyl alcohol. Most people are using Febreze. Don't use Febreze. Febreze can only be used if you are then going to wash the costume in water. Are you going to wash the costume in water? No, you're not. No, you're not, because you're not stupid, right? So don't wash your costumes in water unless they say you can, unless it's like a hip hop costume and it's basically like a jumpsuit or something. Most of your costumes you can't wash by hand. They need to be dry cleaned, or this is your next best thing. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to remake the video I did before. You can go and watch that, but don't use Febreze. Febreze locks in the stink, and there's a scientific reason for it. Go watch the video. You'll thank me for it later. This is so much cheaper, so much more versatile, and basically you can clean everything in your house with it, right? So just bomb your costumes with this stuff, right? It will make them so much fresher smelling and cleaner, kill bacteria, etc., etc. Just do that. Don't do Febreze. Please don't do Febreze. Then once you're done, you bang them up in two certain ways. You can use your Ziploc bag. I like to get the bulk purchase Ziploc bags you get online, just from importer or something like that. If it's short term, put them in a Ziploc bag. If it's long term, put them in a vacuum bag, right? And it depends on how many costumes you have. You can get these from Amazon. They're pretty cheap. This one's really huge. I don't need such a big one for one costume. They come with pumps, but if you actually want to save time, you will get yourself a mini vacuum and just use that. So for long-term storage or bulk storage, so if you have a lot of like very floofy tutus or big floofy costumes, turn them inside out, give them a spray, put them in the bag, zap them with that, suck out all the air, and then they're good to go for years and years and years. And people will be like, oh, won't that stretch out the material if you turn them inside out? Yes, it will, if you don't vacuum pack them. Because if you think about, okay, turn the material inside out, so now unitard is going to be stretched out by the material inside, but only if you leave it like that. Whereas if you vacuum it, it will then crunch and back down, and you're not basically flexing the elasticity from keeping it in that normalized state, if that makes sense. So number one, we've got air. So it's as easy as ACB. I didn't finish school. So air out your costumes for A. C, cleanse your costumes. And then B, bag. So make sure you bag them in your normal Ziploc bag. For short term, for long term, make sure you use a vacuum bag if you can. You can use the Ziploc bag for long term, but I just find the bags are a bit flimsy. You'll find that you get holes poked in them and air gets into them and blah, blah, blah. So just invest in some good Ziploc bags and you'll be good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully these 3 hot tips to get your costumes smelling fresh for long-term storage or your next performance or whatever, if it's useful, do the internet thing. If you want to learn more about this, subscribe to the channel, obviously. If you want to buy great costumes, pre-loved costumes at a fantastic price, and I do global shipping, check out my store on Shopify, camscostumes.com. We'd love to hear from each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!